I'm Amy, one of the penguin keepers here at Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, and today on the ice you're joining myself and some of our other penguin keepers who I will introduce you to very soon, and we're going to be feeding our King and Gen 2 penguins. Now, as you saw just before, the Gen 2s are very hungry. So Lindsay is going to start our pool feed. Say hi, Lindsay.
Hi guys. In the pool.
So today on the menu, Lindsay is feeding our penguins pilchards.
Yeah.
They look very hungry today. So here at Sea Life Sydney, we have a colony of 27 Gen 2s and 7 king penguins. Now Gemma's down here feeding the king penguins, so we're going to go down here and meet some of our king penguins. So these are two more of our penguin keepers. This is Kira and Gemma, who is feeding our king penguins. So this is Nog, who's Gemma feeding at the moment. And on the menu today, we're feeding our kings whiting and Souri. So when we're feeding our kings, each penguin gets a fish that has a vitamin in it, and then we feed them a few more fish until they're hungry. So hopefully they're hungry today. They're a bit camera shy today. So we're getting some questions coming through. So our first question that Kira can answer is, how big do the king penguins get, Kira?
King penguins reach just under a metre tall, so between 90 and 100 centimetres. A Gen 2 is like cheeky little Monty down here, avoiding the pool, lazy. They reach about 80 centimetres. So even though they look a lot smaller than the king penguins, they're actually the third largest species of penguin. The king penguins being the second largest, just
So we've got some vocalising from our king penguins, and this is how they communicate with each other. So just like you and I have different voices, all the penguins sound different when they're singing, and that's how they talk to each other. So now we're going to try to feed Wallace. And Wallace is one of our biggest king penguins here at the aquarium. He's 17 kilos. So we have a few more questions coming in. How big do they get, as in weight, and how old do they get, Kira?
The king penguins that we have here range between 11 and 17 kilos. So somewhere around 14 or 15 would be average for a wild bird. In age, king penguins can live into their 30s in the wild, although they are known to reach their 40s in captivity with the lack of predators and obviously the vet care and ample food that we can offer them.
So we've got lots of questions coming through about how much they do eat every day and how many times a day do we feed them.
So we'll typically feed our penguins hand feeding like Gemma's doing now twice a day. And every bird, as Amy said earlier, will get a vitamin fish first. And then the Gen 2s especially love their pool feeds, and depending on their hunger levels, we can do multiple pool feeds throughout the day. And each bird will eat about a kilo if they're a Gen 2 or more than that each day. It does depend on the season though, and when they're going through their annual molt, which is where they replace their feathers, they will eat up to half their body size if they're really hungry, and they'll also eat additional during their breeding season so that they can prepare their body for eggs if they're a female, or to feed their chick once it has hatched.
So that's a good question. When we're filming, people can see that the king penguins can actually see their own reflection in the windows. So they definitely like looking at themselves. So when they're up close against the windows, they are checking themselves out because they are pretty beautiful animals. But they do like to look at and see lots of other birds as well because they are colony birds. So that means they like to stick together, and it makes them feel comfortable if they can see lots of birds from the windows.
I'm seeing a lot of people ask how we tell the males and females apart, maybe, and that's actually a really good question. So penguins are actually monomorphic, which is a really fancy way of saying that males and females look the same. So visually, there is no easy way to tell them apart. So on average, male penguins will be a little bit bigger than females, but because you can have larger females and smaller males, it's not a reliable way to tell them apart. So in the case of our birds, our gentoo penguins all have wing bands, which we use to identify them. And we have our male birds with wing bands on the left and female birds with wing bands on the right. The only accurate way to tell the gender of a penguin, though, is to actually do DNA testing. So it's very involved, and we'll usually use a feather or a blood sample and send it off to a lab if we need to do that.
So we've got a few questions coming through as well about how cold is it in this exhibit. So as you've probably seen, we're wearing nice ski gear to keep us nice and warm. So on average in here, it sits around 5 or 6 degrees all year round. And our pool, which I'll come over and see some of the gentoos pool feeding at the moment, our pool sits at around 9 or 10 degrees all the time. And so we keep the temperature the same all year round. The only thing that we do change in the exhibit is the lighting. So our lighting is all computerized, and it mimics exactly what is happening on Macquarie Island, which is a sub-Antarctic island around Antarctica and is a place where the kings and gentoos can be found. So all the lighting is scheduled to have a sunrise and a sunset every day for the penguins, and they have a summer and a winter season. And that's really important for our penguins so they know when to breed and go through their molting process, which their molting process is when they lose all their feathers in one go, and the penguins do a catastrophic connection, so I might just have to move away from the pool window, sorry. So as I was saying about the molting, it's a catastrophic molt, which means they lose all their feathers in a 2 or 3 week period and grow back a nice new coat of feathers. So all our penguins have molted already this year, so they've got their nice new coat of feathers. So now I'm going to head back up to the pool and have a look at the gentoos having their pool feed. Got Lindsay here again, and are we feeding pilchards still, Lindsay? Hungry today, so what have we got now on the menu?
Now we have penguin fish and chips or tubes. These are white-baked and they're really fatty, and penguins are obsessed with them. And we have Monty and little Parky right here. And these two are very hungry adult males. All they want to do is eat. I'm trying to make them swim, but they won't do.
So we've had a few questions about how fast can penguins swim. So Lindsay, would you like to answer this question?
Penguins are faster than you think. These penguins, the gentoo, are actually the fastest penguins in the whole world. And if you just have a look, you can see how incredibly agile they are.
We've got another one of our penguins here. So this is Winnie. She's coming up for some white bait out of the pool. She's being a little bit cheeky, but we'll spoil her today.
You're a good girl, Winnie. Winnie is probably one of our smallest penguins, and Monty, one of the biggest. There you go, Monty. It's a special occasion. Are there any questions?
Oh, it's a good question. Do you know this one? And we've had a few of them. How long can penguins breathe underwater, Lindsay?
Breathe underwater.
Breathe underwater.
Well, believe it or not, penguins are birds. And unlike lots of other sea creatures, they don't have gills. They have to breathe air, just like us. So they've got sort of lungs inside them. We call them air sacs. They breathe air, hold their breath, then they go underwater. And they can hold their breath for 30 minutes, maybe even longer. Some penguins, like our king penguins, we just met, they can dive underwater for like maybe 500 meters. Like there's new data coming out that they can go very, very deep for a very long time. Imagine 500 meters for half an hour.
Very deep. So we've got a few questions about how do we know the penguins apart. So that's a good question. So as you can see, Marmalade's going back in the water, so I can't show you. Parky here, who's coming up for some more food, he'll have to turn around so I can show you his band on his wing. But they all have different coloured bands. So you could probably see, oh, you're coming to say hi, Parky. See the band on his wing there? Oh, here's Marmalade again. Are you going to say hello, Marmalade? Good girl. Good girl, Marmalade. So they all have different coloured bands on their wings. And as Kira was saying before, the girls have them on their right wings and the males have them on their left wings. And we know the names according to the colour of the band. So that's something we do remember. So we've got 34 penguins here at the aquarium. So we spend lots of time with them, so it's easy to remember their names.
Kira knows how fast they can swim. Ginger penguins have been reported in the wild swimming at speeds up to 36 kilometres an hour, which is more than 4 times your average speed of an Olympic swimmer. So they are very fast when they need to be, although that is usually for short bursts and reserved for either catching a sneaky fish or getting away from predators. And I did see a couple of people asking earlier what kind of predators they do have. And in the wild, penguins may be hunted on by killer whales or orcas, leopard seals, and even sharks if they're really determined. I have seen a video of an African penguin going toe-to-toe with a great white lamb. Of course, our guys are very privileged here to not have any predators. Although a bigger cause in the wild right now of penguins' mortality is plastic pollution. A recent study that in Gen 2 penguins actually showed that 20% of a particular colony had microplastics in their fecal matter, which is pretty substantial because they can't actually digest it. So for a lot of birds, once they ingest plastic, it's actually going to stay in their stomach. And what that means for them is they can't eat a lot of their actual prey items because their stomach will just become more and more full as they ingest more plastic. So it's really important that where we can, we reduce the amount of plastics that we're using that are unnecessary or that can't be reused. So it's simple things like reusing your own tea cup, although I know that can be difficult in the current times, or even using a metal straw instead of plastic ones if that is not.
Now, I saw a good question come past, which I think this is a good one. I'm not sure where this penguin is at the moment, but it was the funniest name that we've got here. So I've got my story that I think is the funniest name. Well, it's not really the funniest name, but it's a cute name and a cute story. So as Kira was saying earlier, you can't tell the difference between males and female penguins just by looking at them. So some of our penguins are named before we know the sex. So we've got one male here whose name is actually Pink Lady, which, yep, he's a boy, but his name's Pink Lady, but he was actually named after his mother, who is actually at our sister aquarium in Sea Life Melbourne, and his mum's name is Apple. So here is Pink Lady here, but I think he loves his name and he suits his name very well. So this is Monty being very cheeky, coming up to the camera. And what you would have seen there is a little love bow, what we call. So we've been getting lots of questions about their breeding, so we might talk a bit about their breeding now. But this is Monty here and Marmalade with the yellow band, and they are actually a pair. So they bow to each other as they're about to do now, and that's a sign of affection or a little love bow. So do we want to talk more about their breeding, girls? So we've got lots of questions about how many babies they have, how big their chicks are when they hatch.
Yeah, no worries. Might just come in a little bit closer because I saw a couple of people saying they could hear.
Lots of singing happening.
So for our Gentoo penguins here, their breeding season starts in August, and they actually lay a clutch of 2 eggs. So they'll lay one, and 3 to 4 days later they'll lay a second egg, same size, but it's kind of like an insurance policy. They'll have a backup, so they won't necessarily always hatch and raise 2 chicks, but then they'll incubate it for about 35 days, and before it will hatch. So between the 2 eggs being laid, they won't fully incubate that first egg, so that if both eggs are going to hatch, they're both incubated equally. In the case of the king penguins, they actually only lay 1 egg in a breeding season, and instead of building a nest like the Gentoos do, they'll actually balance that egg on their feet, a lot like the emperor penguins do if you've ever seen March of the Penguins, and they'll keep it nice and warm with what we call a brood patch, which is just a bit of their feathers that they can open up, and so that the egg can touch directly on their skin and stay nice and warm.
Now we've got one of our very special penguins that has just come out of the water, and a lot of you might know him already. He's one half of our power couple, Sven and Magic. So this is Magic. Hello, Magic. Say hello to everyone. And Sven has just come out of the water as well. So we'll go see Sven over here. Here comes Sven as well. And hopefully, if we're lucky, baby Svenjik will make an appearance somewhere as well. So as you can see, all our penguins have different personalities. Sven likes ice, things dropping from above. So we've got a few questions about how we clean the exhibit and we keep the ice so nice and white.
Believe it or not, we have a whole room. It's through this door.
Just show the door there, behind Kira there, in that room there.
And it'd be as big as 4 of your bathrooms, maybe even bigger. And it has an enormous machine inside which actually freezes water all day, all night long, chops it up into tiny flakes and makes snow. And there's a giant pump that we go around with an enormous hose, which is really cool, like Ghostbusters. And we just blast snow all over the exhibit. And the penguins love snow. I don't know if you saw, but the king penguins especially love to lie on piles of snow. And just like in the wild, they like to toboggan down the piles of snow that we make for them. So we try and make a nice big pile, they throw their tummy onto it and then toboggan over the piles. It's really cool. But we spend a lot of time cleaning. If any of you are thinking about becoming a penguin keeper or a zookeeper, you're going to have to love cleaning. So you, right now at home, it's the perfect time to get practicing. We do a lot of scrubbing, a lot of spraying, a lot of surfaces get wiped. Yeah, and it takes, what do you think, Amy? 3 hours?
Oh yeah, so yeah, 2 or 3 hours every morning. So yeah, we start our morning at 7:30 every morning, and we're in here hosing down all the ice from the penguin poo.
Someone did ask where they go to the bathroom.
Wherever right there. So penguins do poo a lot. On average, they poo every 17 minutes. So you can imagine when we leave here for the afternoon and then we come back at 7:30 in the morning, it's very, very messy. So that's why we're in here for a couple of hours, scrubbing all the rocks and cleaning all the ice. So we've got a few questions. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Kira, about how big the chicks are when they hatch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just sit next to you to talk because I'm sure the people want to see more of the penguins.
Yeah.
But baby Svenjik, who I'm sure a lot of you have heard of.
There she is right there in the water.
There's Lara.
We'll see if she'll come out of the water.
She was 91 grams when she hatched, so she was tiny. Very cute. King penguin chicks are still quite small when they hatch, but they're about double that, around 200 grams. And they do grow up really quickly. So you can see now, baby Svenjik is an adult. She's just molted into her adult feathers for the first time in this molt that just finished early March. And it was only about 2 months that she stayed with Magic and Sven. So after that, she was a strong, independent penguin.
So thank you everyone for watching our penguin feed here. Oh, we've got a few penguins coming over the bridge wanting to say goodbye as well.
Good penguin.
Being very good today. So if you do want to continue watching any more live streaming, our family next door at Wildlife Sydney Zoo will be doing quokka cuddles with Davey tomorrow at 3 p.m. So you can head over to their Facebook page at Wildlife Sydney Zoo. Otherwise, we do hope that we see you soon because we got lots of questions, so hopefully we'll be back at some point to answer all the questions that we didn't get to answer. You're going to say bye, Magic? Marmalade will say bye. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Bye.
Gemma's down there somewhere.
Bye, Gemma.
I'll just turn around to Gemma. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.